Hi, I'm Danielle Dietrich, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I started this YouTube channel today, April 8th, 2024, because tomorrow, April 9th, 2024, the U.S. Department of Transportation is releasing the final rule involving DBEs. So it's disadvantaged business enterprises. And I'm a lawyer who works a lot with DBEs as well as MBEs, minority business enterprises, and women business enterprises, also known as WBEs, as well as the other alphabet soup of different certifications. I help these companies obtain and maintain their certifications. So this new rule coming out, and by rule, it's a whole bunch of rules. They call it a final rule, but it's many pages long, is very exciting. We are long overdue for an update on the DBE side of things. It has been, I believe, 11 years. I'm not certain as to when they were last updated. A lot of things have changed over the last 11 years, and updates were sorely needed. My clients are very excited. I'm very excited. It's going to be a very interesting day tomorrow. So they will release the written rule tomorrow, and I will also be attending a session that they're doing online at 10 o'clock in the morning to talk about the releases to the rule. So I will be attending that. I'm hoping to live tweet it on X. My handle there is at DL Dietrich. That's DLDIETRICH. So if you want to follow me there, I hope to be live tweeting it. And I'll also be writing blogs on my blog with Potomac Law Group, and I will also be doing more additional vlogs like this to talk about different new things that have come up in these rules. What are the changes? What's good? What do I think is bad? How, what's it going to affect? For instance, now again, we don't have the final rule. We just have what they published to the public that said, hey, here's what we're thinking about doing and asking for feedback. So I do expect to certainly see some of those things make it into the final rule. For instance, the increase to personal net worth. Currently, the ceiling on personal net worth is 1.32 million for an individual, and that excludes their ownership in their home and their ownership in their business. And that has not been updated for a long time. And as part of being a DBE is you have to be economically disadvantaged. That number understandably should be low, but what many people don't realize, because it's not always made clear, is that economically disadvantaged is not in comparison to your average Joe or Josephine. It is in comparison to the average business owner, which is a white non-Hispanic male. So when looking at someone's economic situation, that's who you're supposed to be comparing it for the certification. So what is expected is that that number will increase to 1.6 million, which doesn't seem like a lot over that amount of time. However, they have decided that they are not going to count, that's what I hope they've decided, again, it's not final, they're not going to count your retirement funds. And so that actually results in a substantial potential increase of personal net worth. Now, one of the reasons that they stated that they did not wish to count retirement funds is that it was getting complicated because whenever you would put the number in your personal net worth statement, you would have to put the number as of if you took that money out right now. So for instance, I'm 43. If I took money out of my 401k, I'd be hit with penalties, taxes, so that would just be a complicated analysis to figure out. So one of the themes, I think, is they're trying to simplify and streamline the process for folks. We also hope to see a lot of improvements in the timeline and the timeframes for getting these things done. One of the complaints I often hear from my clients is interstate certification. So that's when you are certified in your home state and you want to go get certified in other states because you want to do work there. There's a lot of complaints about that process, how long it takes, what you're supposed to provide or not provide. So what was issued in the notice to proposed rulemaking was going to simplify that and make it essentially a reciprocity, absent some sort of weird issue. So we're going to be looking for that. Also, the big question mark for me is what are they going to do with the ability to accumulate substantial wealth analysis? So this analysis is one of the things that they look at, particularly in existing DBEs, so people who are already certified. they look to see, okay, maybe their personal net worth is technically under the ceiling, but they live in a mega mansion, they drive all these fancy cars, and there's other things that are the trappings of conspicuous wealth, is a phrase that they've used at various places. So previously, or I guess currently, because that's what's in effect, they list 6 factors that can be looked at, and they're not exhaustive. It's just to give the certifying agencies an idea of what to look at. Now, with what they proposed in the proposed rule, it was kind of a free for all. It was a leaving it up to their judgment sort of thing. And universally in the comments, both from the business owners and from the certifying agencies, when I read through the comments, the proposed rule, they're like, no, we don't want this. I posted a comment, I believe, that said, no, we don't want this. It's too subjective. There needs to be some guidelines, because, people could all be treated entirely differently, both individually, locally, or, how someone's treated in Vermont could be different than how someone's treated in Alabama. And so you need to have some sort of guidelines, not just oh, well, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it must be a duck sort of analysis. There's also I anticipate some changes to more tweaking to the ownership and control provisions of the regulations. So sort of the 2 overarching themes that they are looking for when they're processing a DBE application is, does the socially and economically disadvantaged owner control and own the business? So ownership is both, okay, yeah, it's technically everything is there, but it also looks at, did you pay something of value for this, or did your husband gift it to you? For control, they're also looking at, does the person have the knowledge necessary to control this business? If somebody was a plumber for 40 years and is starting an accounting company, can that person really do that or not? And maybe yes, maybe no. But so they're making some tweaks to that. So I'm going to be very interested to see what that says. And not sure what else will be there. There were so many different things that came out in the original notice of proposed rulemaking, most of which I think are very positive and are going to be very positive for folks who are looking to get these certifications. So stay tuned. Again, that's going to be issued tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when the written rule will come out, whether it'll be before, during, or after the 10 o'clock presentation that they're going to be doing. But I will be diving into that right away and look for more videos here on YouTube, or more blogs on my firm website that talk about these changes, and it's really exciting. So if this affects your business and you have questions or anything like that, please reach out to me, and we'll see if it might make sense for us to work together. But again, this is very exciting. I think it's going to be very positive, and I really look forward to seeing the news. So thank you for watching.